Alright guys, welcome back to the most amazing gaming channel in the world. I'm going to try and fly through this because the last one took like 20 minutes and I do not like that for patch reviews. So new skins, Bob Ross Sylvanas, best skin in the game. I don't know, I'll actually have to check it out. Queen's Guard, Cosmic Soul, alright, more Thoth skins, Kuzenbo, I just hate his... I hate his players. Whenever I see him, I literally get upset. Obey Thanatos looks exactly like final boss Thanatos, except they put a fucking O. I don't know. Moving on. Basically, skim through this. This was, they understand snowballing was a thing. Just as I said, whoever gets first blood basically almost wins the game. You look at the Masters split there, whatever the shit happened the other week. 67, I think, % of the people. So 2/3 of the games where they got first blood, they won. Basically, they realized as soon as you have an early game team comp, the solo laner will get the elementals, the mid laners or will be able to invade and grab their speed. The duo lane will be able to grab their smalls and then eventually clear out their jungle just because they have better clear. They hit level 2, yada, yada, yada. With that, there are now, and then in addition to that, you basically keep pushing them out until you can get Gold Fury, and then it just snowballs you even more because now you just got a huge gold increase and everything else. So this is something they're testing on 4.8, will not go live until 4.9 most likely. So what this means right here. Decrease the amount of experience to go from level 1 to level 2 from 308 to 225. This is super huge because a full min wave gives you 60 experience, last hits, 60 experience for the minions, and 40 experience for the archers. You add that up, it's 180 plus 120, which means 300, which means you are always 1 minion shy of level 2 after the first min wave. Now you're going to hit it basically before. You can have 1 archer and 1 melee left and you'll be, or you can have 1 or 2 mins left and still be fine. So you're going to hit level 1 or level 2 at the first min wave. This is going to be huge because this isn't going to really help mid lane as they split everything. But solo lane, you will now be level 2 halfway through the min wave. Now me, I'm probably still going to start at elementals because they're still not going to be able to clear the whole min wave before I can get there. And which means I'm going to get the experience from the small elementals, and then I'm still going to be level 2. Now, the amount of experience to go from level 2 to level 3 was increased from 363 to 430. Now this is where you're going to see me kind of pop ahead because now you're going to have the 300 experience from the entire min wave. But then I'm also going to be level 3 before you, which means now I can still get that pressure. So solo lane, not too much. But as far as like duo and mid, where they're going to be splitting experience, this I think is a good change. This is a huge change. This right here, they increased from 3 to 4, just from 418 to 434, so not a big deal right there. Gold Fairy adjustments, increase the base health from 2250 to 2550, decrease the health per minute from 280 to 270, and then decrease the base gold from 190 to 150, and increase the base gold per minute from 8 to 10. So this, I think, is a good change. Like I said, I didn't like this at all. Some god fixes. Emperor's Armor, I'm really going to sum this down. Because I don't think they understand why this is not a picked up item. Increase physical protections from 30 to 40. Increase passive allied tower attack speed buff from 30 to 40. The enemy tower attack speed debuff is still going to be at 30 from what I'm gaining from this. With that, increased physical protections, this is still not going to be picked up. You want to know why? Because are you going to really pick this up as a support? I mean, Ares is like the only god I could maybe ever see picking this up. But really, you have, this only works on the towers and phoenixes. You know what would be a really good buff to this item? Keep it at 30, but now have it do objectives. So Titan, Gold Fury, Fire Giant. That I think would be awesome. Really, I think that that would be a huge change and where this could be a relevant item. You're not really ever going to pick this up as support because what are you going to sacrifice for? Sovereignty, Heartward, Gauntlet of Thebes, and then at that point you only have 2 items to really counter build. So are you going to go Winged Blade? Are you going to go, you know, what are you really going to go into? You're not going to go into Emperors. There's a reason why this isn't ever picked up, and that's because supports can't afford to pick this up. Solo laners. If you pick this up as a solo laner, and the only person I really ever build this on is my split push Loki. The only time that you'll never pick this up, the only time it's going to be beneficial is if their teleport is down and you just killed them. At that point, Emperor's Armor will be good, because then you can maximize your damage output on the tower while preserving your minions. If not, though, and say you are stopping the attack speed of the enemy tower, preserving your minions so you can get more damage output, their teleports up, what would have just given you an experience buff, because he would have lost completely out on all of those minions. You are now helping him out, because now he can, I mean, even if you have no tower damage, you're going to let him all up, he will still get back there, and he will, and your solo laner will now get experience that he would not have got. So you're, in a sense, this is a double-edged sword. Yes, you get more tower damage out, but you're also helping the enemy team because you're saving experience for them. That's why this item's never picked up. It's a fucking shitty item. Now, I said, if you really want to make it possibly relevant, change from 30 to 60, and maybe, but even then, I still wouldn't pick this up, because it's not a good item for what I was mentioning above. Unless, if you want to change this from like 30 to 50, and then increase or change the passive, where in addition to this also affect objectives, Gold Fury, Fire Giant, etc. That, I think, would be a good change. Hasten Fatalis. Basic attack penalty was huge. I really like this. This was being picked up far too often by way too many people. Obviously, the core people that need to pick this up, Kali, Bakasura, those people are still going to pick this up. But as far as going in every single fucking Hunter build, that extra 300 gold is really going to kind of make a difference. As well as increasing the attack speed to compensate for that, I think is a good change. Shogun's Kusari. Sorry, guys, I was sick as shit throwing up on Tuesday. Yesterday, I had allergies kick my ass, so I'm still trying to recover from this. I'm trying not to cough. Failing. Decrease the cost from 24 to 2200. Huge change. I think this is a super strong item now. They decrease the protections, but also increase the attack speed aura. One moment, guys. Alright, guys, I'm going to try and finish cranking this out. Decrease cost from 24 to 2200. It's going to be really strong. By doing that, to decrease the magic protection from 60 to 50, but also increase the aura 15%, or by 10% from 15% to 25% on the attack speed aura for your teammates. I think that's going to be huge for solo laners now. Yes, the magic protection debuff kind of sucks, but as far as someone like an Amaterasu, this is going to be super, super, super helpful. Just because, you know, she benefits from that attack speed from building her passive quicker. I think this is unneeded, but I really, really like the change. I mean, I'd be stupid saying, oh yeah, this is a bad change. No, I think it's really, really good. Ares, now, I can see him picking this up as well in a sense, but we'll see. Basically, he was taking too much damage, increased his base physical protection from 17 to 20. Kronos was a shit ADC, just like Sol is and everyone else that's like magical. Decreased their cooldown on his ult early game. Late game is still going to be the same. Stop time, increased the base damage by 10 across all ranks. Izanami, I think this is a really horrible change. Decrease the mana cost from 90 to 70 at all ranks, and now it gives you no reason to level this up whatsoever. 90 mana early on, this was fairly punishing. Yes, it made you make a fucking decision, high-res. Anytime you buff stealth is a shitty fucking thing. You've buffed it again. This is like the second patch in a row that you've buffed Izanami. I don't like this. She's already strong enough. Make her fucking take a hit for having to go invisible. 90 is fucking nothing. Like, it really isn't. You shouldn't be spamming this ability. So, I don't like this change at all. I think this is a horrible, horrible change. One of the worst in the patch. Jingwei adjusted the cooldown to go 18, 18, 17, 17, 16 instead of 20 and then decreasing by 1 second at all ranks. This now also provides, for this is her agility, her dash. When you just use it, you'll gain 30 power and 20 movement speed at max, or 20% movement speed all the time, and then ranging from 10 to 30, increasing by 5 at each rank. Physical power. If you use it while in the air, so after jumping into your jet stream or being plucked by Sobek or anything like that, or a Freya banish, you now gain 10% movement speed and 10 power on all ranks. So this, I think, really could put her back into the meta. I'd really like to see how it works. So I'm really, really looking forward to playing Jingwei here. Kukulkan, decrease the mana cost. This is, I don't get it. They decreased the mana cost late game on his too. I don't know a single person who is leveling Whirlwind Never mind. Never mind. Let's let me reframe that. Rechange this. I was thinking Whirlwind was his 2. Whirlwind was, yes, definitely his first thing that you stack. This is his 3. At 110, okay, this I think is a pretty decent change then. Just because 110 is a huge amount of mana. Yes, it auto clears lane at once, but early game, like, because I mean, you build Book of Thoth with this, so before you can actually get any MP5 items. So I think this is actually a good change. I was thinking this was his 2 for some reason. I am, whew. But, so I think this is, okay, overall, good. This is 3, 110 at, what is that? You go 3, 1, 3, 2, 5. So at 5, then you have 6, 7. So at level 8, you're using 110 mana. Like, this is, or 100. That's ridiculous. Level 9, you're using 110. So strong. Ravana, this is a huge, good thing, too. Decreased damage reduction from 50% to 40%. I think that's a very good change. 50% reduction. It's not mitigation. People don't realize how strong that is. That means the Thoth ult that say is going to do 1,000 damage to him only does, well, would only do 500. Now it's going to do 600. But still, this damage reduction is crazy. They decreased the base damage on his 3 early game, but kept it the same late game. So Circuit got a, I think, a nerf. So the adjusted damage, basically they said it was coming out too hard. Honestly, this goes over 5 ticks. It does. It goes 5 ticks on this. So if you can Aegis it, you automatically negate 2 of them. You can negate the 25% health. Really, I don't think this was great, because you had to really be able to burst him down and be able to do it efficiently. And, you know, late game, yes, I understand it's the same, but early game, it's not. And that's kind of what allowed her to be a strong pick. Is late game, she's not really super of a threat. I mean, yes, it's a jungler. I get it. They're always going to be a threat. But she was a bursty because she could take 25%, ult you, and basically take you out of the fight. She's still going to be able to do that, but it's still, I think this was unneeded. I really liked where she was sitting at. Some of you guys may disagree here. I understand she was incredibly strong and how she was just a pain in the ass. But overall, I think that, you know, this was unneeded. I think she was finally in a good place. I didn't see her, you know, being super overplayed. She wasn't a first pick ban, or picker ban. So I really don't see this being a absolutely needed change. I think this is, I'm mixed about this. This I think is bad. This I would say was good. So that's why I said I'm mixed. Magic Cudgel, Sun Wukong basically didn't bring anything to the late game, and nor would he, I mean, he'd get, you know, he'd get shit on by other solo laners in the early. So I'm happy they increased his physical power scaling from 50 to 60% on his 1. Master's Will, I could be wrong on this. This is either his 2 or his ult. I think it's his ult, because his 3 is 72 transformations, and he only has 3. So increase the physical power scaling. This, I think, is good nonetheless. And last but not least, Terra received a nerf to her speed when she ults from 30% to 20. So overall, this is going to be interesting. The early game change. Still a useless item. Good change. Unneeded, but I like it change. Good change. Good change. Worst change of the fucking patch. Good change. Good change. Good change. Unneeded. Mixed. Good change. Good change. So overall, they didn't do bad, but I still wish they would. This tilts me. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and until the next time, have yourself a fucking amazing life.